Oscar-winning Australian actor Nicole Kidman has worked on a diverse range of movies since her breakthrough role in the 1989 thriller Dead Calm. Indie films like Dogville and To Die For. She won her Academy Award for her role as Virginia Woolf, complete with prosthetic.
Customer groups who'd never heard of Her to Chocolat before. So a combination of all those things together, including our first ever TV advertising campaign to support some of our new products. All of that has rolled up to into very strong growth for us.
It's very interesting the way you just touched on the subscription model that you've adopted in recent years. I mean, people who necessarily stroll into your shops might not necessarily be aware of that. How long before that becomes the bigger part of the business?
There's an advantage in balance, Ian, which we really like, and the shape that we've got to is broadly 50% digital and 50% stores. The stores bring in an element of immediate chocolate escapism that you just can't get online, and we love that, and we know our customers love that. But then again, online is super convenient for particularly a subscription. So we are really channel agnostic, and we just have to read the messages that our customers are sending us about where we should be investing in terms of different channels we want to grow.
How inconvenient were the Plan B restrictions in terms of affecting footfall into the stores?
It was a bit of a surprise, and thankfully we're vertically integrated and we're battle hardened after 2 years of this. So we were able to switch some of our Christmas stock package from stores back into online again, having expected that the final 2 weeks would be more of a physical store story this year. The kind of resilience and the fact that we manufacture our chocolates in the UK, we run our own distribution centre, we train our own forklift truck drivers, we deliver on our own fleet of vehicles. All that investment really paid off and meant that we were able to dance our way through those slightly unexpected last-minute restrictions that came in.
No, it's never a dull moment for you, Angus. No sooner have you got Christmas out of the way than you've got Valentine's Day coming up in less than a month's time. How big is that for you compared with Christmas and Easter?
It used to be the smallest of the ones you've mentioned, but because of our ambitions in the Japan market, Valentine's Day has now become the number 2 event for us. In Japan, if you add together Valentine's and White Day, which occurs only 4 weeks later, they are larger in equivalence than a UK Christmas. So the gifting market in Japan is particularly attractive to a brand like Her to Chocolat. And this year we're launching approximately 40 new Valentine's and White Day products that we've created to really make a big splash in the spring in the Japan market.
That's amazing. And very briefly, Angus, if you would please, anything concerning you about inflation at the moment? Are customers facing price rises this year?
Well, we're using all the advantages we've got of being a manufacturer and a brand to mitigate that. We did make some price increases before Christmas, and that has basically helped us to stabilize the situation. But the big thing that our customers always say to us is just don't touch quality. Never tamper with your recipes or your taste, or go for cheaper hazelnuts. Make sure you stick to quality, and whatever it takes, we will always do that.
That's a good problem to have. Angus, great to talk to you as ever this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian.
Well, some of the other day's business stories now. And MasterCard and 4 other payments companies have been fined £33 million by the UK's payments regulator for cartel behaviour in the prepaid cards market. The payment systems regulator said the 5 parties infringe competition law by agreeing not to compete or poach each other's customers in the prepaid cards market. Well, MasterCard attracted the biggest fine of £31.56 million. The others fined were Prepaid Financial Services, AllPay, Advanced Payment Solutions and Sulliam. Strong demand for beauty products helped the online retailer THG to sales of £712 million for the final 3 months of last year. That was up 27% on the same period in 2020. Well, THG, which owns brands such as Glossybox and Look Fantastic, as well as selling third-party names such as Bobbi Brown, Clinique and MAC, said it had seen 6 orders per second placed during the peak cyber period. The company, which recruited 3,000 people during 2021, said it expected to grow sales this year by between 22 and 25%, despite what it warned would be a challenging start to 2022. The shares are actually down 6% on that warning. Chief Executive of EDF, the company building the UK's first nuclear power station in a generation, has attacked the French government for forcing it to sell power to smaller rivals at a loss. Jean-Bernard Lévy said the decision had left the company in real shock and indignation. He said the board would take all measures to protect its interests. Well, his comments are unusual because bosses of state-controlled companies seldom criticise the government. EDF is 84% owned by the French government, which is desperate to keep household energy bills down ahead of the presidential election in April. And the Golden State Warriors basketball team has distanced itself from comments made by one of its shareholders in which he said nobody cared about China's treatment of Uyghur Muslims. Chamath Palihapitiya, a billionaire investor who owns 10% of the team, told the All In podcast, "Every time I say that I care about the Uyghurs, I'm really just lying if I don't really care. And so I'd rather not lie to you and tell you the truth. It's not a priority for me." Well, Mr. Palihapitiya, who's one of the best-known names in US business, later sought to clarify his comments, which have been condemned by US politicians. Well, the price of oil has hit a 7-year high today after Yemen's Houthi rebels attacked some facilities in the United Arab Emirates, raising concerns about further tensions across the Middle East. Meanwhile, analysts at Goldman Sachs have today forecast that they expect to see Brent crude at $96 a barrel this year and at $105 a barrel next year. I don't know whether we can show you the Brent crude price right now. We can't, but I can tell you it went above $88 a barrel earlier on. I think it's back below that right now, but still ahead by some 1% on the session as a whole. Well, on the equity markets, there were falls across most of the Asia-Pacific region overnight, with declines in Tokyo, Hong Kong, Mumbai and in Sydney. Only Shanghai bucking the trend there. Been a similar situation in Europe. Here's this picture right now. All of the main indices down by around 1% or so. Here in London, well, the FTSE 100 last night closed at its highest level since the 22nd of January 2020. In other words, a post-lockdown high. This morning, however, it is off by just over 0.4% in a pretty broad-based sell-off. Unilever is again weighing on the FTSE 100 amid concerns over its interest in GlaxoSmithKline's consumer healthcare division. Unilever shares off there by 2.75%. That's been enough to clip some 10 points from the index on its own. There are not too many blue chip gainers to mention this morning, but BT Group, its shares are ahead by nearly 1.5% after it got a push from one of the brokers. Well, outside the FTSE, there are a few trading updates moving prices. They include the retirement income specialist Just Group. Its shares up some 6.75%, while the paving slabs maker Marshalls, they used to sponsor the Chelsea Flower Show once upon a time, you know, their shares are ahead by some 3.5%. On the foreign exchange markets, the pound has given back some of its recent gains. It's currently off by around 1/5% against the US dollar and by just under 1/10% right now against the euro. Well, let's get more now on that rising oil price. Joining me is Ollie Hansen. He's head of commodity strategy at Saxo Bank. Ollie, very good morning to you. What has been driving the price higher over the last 24 hours? Is it this situation in the Middle East?
It's a combination of several things, and good morning, Ian. The headline news from UAE is obviously one that attracting some attention, but we have to just look back at oil prices now since the low point we had back in December or early December when the Omicron news hit the wires. We've seen a very strong recovery since then, and that really continues. So momentum is strong, and if you look at the charts, we have broken above a so-called double top, and that is attracting some additional buying. So the market's just in very crude health right now, and unfortunately, it's spreading to other markets. It's driving up bond yields in the US. It's driving down stocks in the stock market. So it's having a major, profound impact across the world.
It really is. You mentioned the tightness of supply there. I mean, I've seen one or two reports that some OPEC members are struggling to drill to their allotted capacity right now.
Indeed. We saw a report from S&P Platts last month, basically indicating that 14 out of the 18 OPEC Plus members were struggling to live up to or increase production to their agreed quotas. Basically meaning that the group right now is producing around more than a million barrels a day below where they have agreed they should produce, and that's obviously 1 million barrels every day that the market otherwise would need. So that's also adding to the tightness we're seeing.
And do you think that tightness of supply is going to persist, Ollie?
Unfortunately, it is, because one thing we need now is what we normally see is that a high price is a cure for high price, because it incentivizes increased production at the same time killing some demand. But right now we have the whole transition towards a green environment that is basically leaving some of these energy companies with a less appetite to invest in finding the oil for tomorrow and the day and the year after. And that really is the conundrum and the dilemma that we're facing right now.
So some of these forecasts that have been doing the rounds this morning around Brent crude tipping above $100 a barrel next year, you would recognise that? You would go along with that?
At this moment, it looks that is a clear risk for the market. We need to look towards the US, see if the shale oil industry will gather some momentum now after having been slow to recover after the pandemic drop. There are signs that they are removing some of the forward hedges, so they are getting revenues at a higher level now. So that basically means that their appetite for drilling should go up, and that potentially could alleviate some of the worries. But clearly, when you have 14 out of 18 producers struggling to increase production, even though they're allowed to, that is a sign. That is a worrying sign.
All right, Ollie, we've got to leave it there. Great to see you this morning. Thanks very much indeed for joining me. Well, still to come here on Ian King Live. I'll be speaking with a tech investor who's promising to help build a new generation of world-beating companies here in Europe. Don't go away.
You can't win. The game is fixed. So when they say, why do you burn down the community? Why do you burn down your own neighborhood? It's not ours. We don't own anything. We don't own anything. Trevor Noah said it so beautifully last night. There's a social contract that we all have, that if you steal or if I steal, then the person who is the authority comes in and they fix the situation. But the person who fixes the situation is killing us. My first two books, I have a co-author. I remember calling her the night that it went viral and saying, I think I may have gotten us canceled. I think I may have ruined our careers, but I feel like I did the right thing. And fortunately, my good friend Geely Siegel said, I stand by you no matter what. So I was so surprised, the positive feedback that I got from it, and that for a lot of people, it gave them clarity in a way that they had never had before. I think that's the greatest way that we can move forward, is that if we just actually sit back and listen and understand each other. And I think because it happened in the middle of a global pandemic, it was an opportunity for people to listen and understand in a way that they hadn't before, because we were all still and we didn't have the busyness of our lives of getting kids to soccer and picking up the groceries to distract us from actually taking in the things that were happening. So people were able to process it in a deeper way, I think. We can assist in getting justice in small doses. We think of it as such a big problem that sometimes people feel extremely overwhelmed and they feel hopeless, especially as they're dealing with their government. But I think if we work on this one community at a time, just taking back our own communities, just fighting for justices in our own communities, we can actually make a dent and make progress in this fight.
Welcome back. Well, now to the venture capital firm pledging to help build a new generation of world-beating companies here in Europe. Blossom Capital has today raised a further $432 million worth of funding. Add to that what it's already raised over the last 3 years, and it's close to $1 billion. Well, in that time, the firm's money has already made its mark. Checkout.com, whose chief executive we had on the programme just last week, has trebled in value over the last year alone to $40 billion. Well, Blossom says it will use part of this latest pot of cash to target crypto startups. Well, let's get more on this now with the managing partner of Blossom Capital, Alex Lim. Alex, welcome to you. Before we start talking about crypto in particular, tell me what are the other areas of tech that you're going to be targeting here?
Sure. So thanks for having me on, Ian. We started Blossom about 4 years ago, and we've made a lot of investments in a number of different areas. particularly in B2B software, enterprise software, infrastructure, cloud infrastructure, and then also fintech have been very, very successful areas for us. You mentioned crypto as a big area of focus going forward. We've seen a massive amount of interest in the area, and a number of founders spending a lot of time building really interesting companies and applications around the blockchain. And so we think we could target up to a third of our new fund in this area.
So this would be targeting businesses exploiting blockchain technologies rather than cryptocurrencies themselves?
Well, actually, we're doing both. We're also investing in the cryptocurrencies, and at the protocol level, we think that that's where a lot of the value will be created. But we're also making investments in equity investments in companies that are enabling blockchain technologies. A good example is Checkout, which you just mentioned. They have a number of customers in the crypto space. And then also MoonPay, which we invested in last year and was the largest Series A investment in the blockchain space so far. They're enabling people to use their credit cards to purchase cryptocurrencies on other exchanges, and we're really excited for that one.
I mean, European tech does seem to be having a bit of a moment. It's attracting a lot of money from across the Atlantic as well. Do you worry about valuations getting stretched?
Yeah, we have seen a massive amount of capital come into the European technology ecosystem, quite rightly so, because you've seen some massive companies being built, and exits are starting to come through as well. So we were early to this trend, and we think it's one that will continue. You have also seen, like you referenced, capital come from the US to start investing in. What we see is that most of that capital is coming in at actually the later stages, not the early stage where we invest. So far, it hasn't affected valuations or the investments that we make. But we keep an eye on it, of course, and actually, in general, we welcome it because this is great growth capital for the companies we invest in at the Series A stage.
And who are the kind of backers that have been investing with you on this funding round?
Yeah, we've been really fortunate to build a very long-term and mostly US-focused investor base. Up to 70% of this new fund is coming from US institutional investors, including 3 of the top endowments globally. We decided to partner with these funds because they've been investing in venture capital for many decades, and they've seen the ups and downs, and we know that they'll be able to stick with us throughout the cycle. We also care a lot about the causes that we support through the returns that we generate through the fund, and so we're very proud to partner with some of these very, very large endowments and foundations, which have good causes behind them.
Yeah, you mentioned these guys are prepared to stick with you through the cycle. What typically is their investment horizon?
Well, for the foundations and endowments, they're perpetual, so they are really working on the behalf of organizations like universities or other charitable organizations. So really their time horizon is very, very long, and that makes them a great partner for Blossom.
And what made you join Blossom? You've not been there that long. What made you want to come specifically and concentrate on European tech?
Yeah, so I spent most of my career actually in Silicon Valley looking at companies in California. I was fortunate to back a few companies like Discord and Hims and Hers, which have raised significant private rounds or gone public. Over the last couple of years in California, I actually started to get really excited about the European technology ecosystem, and was fortunate to back companies like Hopin and UiPath, which have gone on to become multi-billion-dollar businesses in the private or public markets. That gave me the confidence that European technology is here to stay, and that we're going to see many $10 billion plus businesses built over the next 10 years in Europe, and I wanted to be part of that and support the growth of this ecosystem.
All right, well, I sincerely hope you're right on that, Alex. Good to talk to you this morning. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Ian.
Well, now, still to come on Ian King Live. Are you thinking of changing jobs? You're not alone. I'll be talking next to the head of UK LinkedIn about why so many people are looking to move on.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
In Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do that?
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Starr Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Hole of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and intact? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination intact. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Starr Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Hey there, this is Archie, and it's Starr Radio UK, the morning show.
Let me see your victory signs up like this. Come on, hey! Yeah, 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 yeah. Listen. Me, I want to know evermore. Yeah, Jesus, I can't know and wanna evermore. I don't forget to me, say no. Victory is mine, and why is it demon? Yeah, I can know it evermore. Yeah, Jesus, I can't know and want it evermore. Don't forget to me, say no. Victory is mine, and why is it demon? Everybody, come on. Jesus, I can't know. Jesus, I can't know.
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Jesus, I can't know. Jesus, I can't know. Victory is mine.
Okay, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth, and those of you on other planets as well. We want to salute you all and welcome you to the Tuesday edition of the morning show. Today is the 18th day of January, the year 2022, and the time now is 12 minutes to the top of the hour. That's 12 minutes to 11. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones wherever you are. We come your way every weekday from 10 o'clock to 1, apart from Wednesdays when it's from 10 to 12, and then we take you to the House of Parliament for the Prime Minister's question time.
Victory is my name.
Something playing in the background from Carl Clotet, and it says in Kunim. In Kunim means victory.
Victory is my name.
But I'm saying good morning to my colleagues, Mr. Frank Davids, Mr. Olaimi Koiki, Kojo D, Mr.
Victorious, victory is my name.
Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man.
Victory is my name.
To Mr. Francis Guy. And all the way in Aberdeen, the brother himself. Felix, massive good morning to you. But wherever you are, tune in this morning to listen to us. I want to welcome you. I remain yours sincerely.
Archie.
To all our listeners in the US, those of you in Europe, those of you on the African continent, those of you in Asia, those of you in Australia, I salute each and every one of you. Once again, I say welcome to the show. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones, and invite them to like our pages as well. Okay. Now, if it's the first time of tuning in to listen to us, this is how the program goes. I'm going to bring you the quote for the day, the weather forecast will follow you, then the travel updates as well. Come on. We'll move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe, known as Global Trotting. Then after that, we come out with all the details of the program, the news. As I say all the time, if it's making the headlines from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar, I promise you, be rest assured, I'm going to touch on it. Therefore, get yourself a hot or cold drink, whichever is appropriate. And if you're standing, hold on to something. If you're sitting, sit very comfortably, because at times it get bumpy. Bumpy rides. But you're assured of one thing, that, well, arrival at your destination is going to be in perfect peace and not pieces. Alright then, so let's crack on. I only heard this song this morning, early dawn this morning, yeah? And I thought, whoa, that's a nice piece. And I hope that you are enjoying it too as well. No demon from hell can stop the blessing that God wants to give unto you. So whatever he said, surely it shall come to pass. The quote for the day says, always remember that how you treat people determines your failure or success. How you treat people determines your failure or your success. That is by way of the quote for the day.
Victory is my name, and everybody say, I am victorious.
Let's move on straight to the weather front. Let me tell you what is happening on the weather front when it comes to London and the southeast of England. You can share with us what is happening in your area as well. I promise you, I'm going to touch on it if you share it with us. Now this afternoon, any lingering mist and fog patches will soon clear to leave bright spells, and it will remain dry. However, cloud will tend to build in places through the day. And tonight there will be a mixture of variable cloud and clear spells at times. A likely dry and calm night with light and gentle southerly to southwesterly breezes expected as well. Temperature is going to be exact 7 degrees, the lowest 3 degrees, a bit milder than it's been. UV level is going to be low, pollution is going to be low. Sunset 16:25 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 07:57 hours. That brings us to the end of the weather forecast for you today. So coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. It's now gone, 7 minutes to the top of the hour. Don't you worry, I will make sure that you enjoy that song in full. But for now, let's go to the travels. Let me tell you what is happening on your travels today after this short commercial break.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. I'll keep you navigated. This morning, a few incidents here and there on the landing and the ground. A Bakerloo line has got minor delays. Let me tell you details about it. Due to faulty communication equipment. So check before you leave on the northern line until the 15th of January. My apologies. From the 15th of January. No service between Moorgate and Kennington due to major upgrade works. Landing buses route 733 will operate between Moorgate and over via Bank Landing Bridge, Barrow Elephant and Castle and Kennington on Mondays to Fridays. So please check before you leave. On the Piccadilly line, minor delays between Acton Town and Heathrow Airport while they fix a signal failure at Northfields. Good service on the rest of the line. And as you know, Waterloo and City lines have still got planned closures. If you can avoid them, do your best to avoid them. If you are stuck in there, continue to listen to us as and when there are any changes. As I promise you all the time, we'll bring it to the fore. Check it out. But then also all the other underground lines are in good service. CFL Rail, DLR, London Tramlink, London Overground, good service there. Now moving on straight to the river bus. On the river bus, once again, apart from the Woolwich Ferry that is still suspended, all the others have got good service. Let me take you straight to the National Rail this morning. On the National Rail, Avanti West Coast C2C, Cheltenham Railways, Cross Country, East Midlands Railways, First Hull Trains, First Transpennine Express have all got special service. The Gatwick Express, Great Northern, Great North Western Railway, Great Anglia, London North Eastern Railway, Mersey Rail, Northern Rail, Scott Rail, Southwestern Railway have all got special service there as well. And when it comes to Southeastern, Southern, Thameslink, Transport for Wales, they've also got special service. That aside, anyone that has not been mentioned has got good service. So please, it's quite a number of a handful of them. So please check before you leave. But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now moving on to the final segment of the travel update, that's the major roads in London. Let me tell you what is happening there as well. But keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. Now, when it comes to the major roads in London, A3, A4, Central London Red Route, and South Circular A205 have all got closures. So please check before you leave. Check before you leave. On that note, let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be. Enjoy your comments for today. But you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the road.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
Let me see your victory signs up like this. Come on, hey! Yeah. Listen. Me I walk on nowhere evermore. Yeah, Jesus I can't know one evermore. I don't forget to me say no. Victory is mine. And why is redeemed? Yeah, I can know it better more. Yeah, Jesus, I can't know and want it better more. Don't forget to me say no. Victory is mine. And why is redeemed? Everybody, come on. Yeah, Jesus, I can't know. Jesus, I can't know and one evermore. I don't forget to me say no. Victory is mine. Victory is mine. Oh, yeah, I can know. Yeah, I can know evermore. Yeah, Jesus, I can't know. Jesus, I can't know and one evermore. I don't forget to me say no. Victory is mine.
Okay, so welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 3 minutes past the top of the hour, and it's time for us to go global, Trotty.
I am victorious, victory is
Still playing in the background, something from Carl Clotte.
Victory is my name. And one forevermore. I am victorious. Victory is my name.
Okay, so in the UK front, rap. Prime Minister who lied to Parliament will normally quit. The Deputy Prime Minister backs his leader after Boris Johnson is accused of lying to Parliament over a number 10 garden party. And who is the accuser? The accuser of the brethren, the accuser of the Prime Minister. Who is he? The one and only Dominic Cummings. Okay, so Nanny Street Party. What is your grave investigating? The number 10 culture, mixing work and socializing. I mean, you work hard, you play hard, isn't it? But when you say to people, don't do this, and you go to do that, I mean, that's hypocrisy in the first degree. So that seems to be where some people are coming from. But what do you think about all that? Yes. I want to have your take on that.
Yeah, Jesus, I can't no one more.
Okay, so some other stories making the rounds in the UK. Pay rise failed to keep up with the cost of living. Data shows weekly wage growth fell for the first time since July 2020, but vacancies hit a new high. Well, the government has pledged that come 2025, there's going to be a freeze on the BBC licensing. Information coming through say licensing fee freeze will hit programs. The new TV license deal will result in 285 million funding gap, according to the BBC. Who wants show by hands? Who wants to pay the TV license? Or maybe they should decide that you have to subscribe to it, and as and when you want to watch a particular program, you can pay for it and watch it, and I'll give them the money or the shortfall, isn't it? Ambulance wait for of 36 minutes as baby turns blue. West Midlands Ambulance Services apologize for the delay to reach 1-year-old Myla in Shropshire. A skier is being investigated over collision with a British girl. A skier who hit a 5-year-old in the French Alps, who then died, faces a possible charge of manslaughter. Oh God, that is quite a worrying one. When I heard that story yesterday, I was like, my heart broke. Now, Murray wins on Melbourne return, and Murray marks his return to the Australian Open, where in 2019 he thought he might have to retire with a 10th first round win. This is all coming away from Starr Radio UK. The magistrates are to get power to jail people for a year. And ministers have suffered defeats in lots of our crime bill. In geopolitics, UK says it's sending weapons to defend Ukraine. Who's going to pay for those weapons? Is it the Ukrainians? Okay. And the Morrisons is saying that it's confirming sick pay cut for unvaccinated. So if you're unvaccinated and you are working in Morrison, now you have the first COVID, okay, that's okay. You test positive, you isolate, but then subsequent ones you are not going to be paid. So if you're not taking your vaccine yet, what do you think? Making it mandatory somewhere, somehow. London Mayor wants daily driving charge of up to £2. For what? We want to buy scooters. They say they won't allow us to buy scooters. Now you want to drive. They say you have to pay £2 a day. Plus your fuel, plus your tax, plus what? I think all drivers have to now. We all have to storm the streets and then leave the cars there and just walk home. Let's see what they will do. If they can come and tow all those vehicles away, let them do that and let's see. Okay, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Those are some of the stories making the rounds here in the UK. But let's move on to other parts of the world as well. Ashampes Tonga aid, a scale of damage emerges. After the tsunami, New Zealand promises aid, but ash on Tonga runway is hindering relief efforts. It's quite a worrying thing that is going on in Tonga. But after seeing all those things, would you want to go and live on an island like that? Pacific Island, very nice, blue sea, white sand, beaches. What do you want? You want that? Rabbi True Chair to escape Texas synagogue gunman Charlie Citron Walker was one of the 4 people taken hostage by the British citizen Malik Faisal Akram. U.S. Airlines warn of impending 5G flight disruption. Airlines say the start of 5G mobile phone services on Wednesday will hit aircraft navigation system. Have they tried it? Well, my network gave me 5G, but I don't know. I go up to places, I ask myself, am I using 5G or what? I don't even feel nothing 5G. Okay, maybe you are using it, you're experiencing how it works or how swift downloads are or uploads are. Let me know how you feel about that and the clarity that you get. Tennis Australia regrets Djokovic's impact. And a skier investigated over the collision, as I did say earlier on. If I find a body, I recover a piece of my sand. With nearly 100,000 disappeared people in Mexico, families have taken on the search themselves. That's a sad story in that part of the world. Global trotting on the African continent. Cameroon pushes workers to attend AFCON matches. Government reduces work hours in a bid to increase the number of people in stadium. But I'm not. Well, they will come. If you want them to come and watch it for free, why not? In Africa, or on the African continent, still Ramaphosa defends judges after minister's comments. Now, Minister Lindiwe Sisulu wrote an article saying that some judges were mentally colonized Africans. Well, action speaks louder than words. They might dress in some way, saying they are neutral and all that stuff, but you could see that behind the scenes, in the background, that is how their mentality is like. Well, Kenyans are alarmed over bodies that have been dumped in a river. Activists say bodies found in River Yala have torture marks and are tied with ropes. Who were the perpetrators? Guinea's toppled leader flies to UAE for treatment. Alpha Conde has been allowed to leave the country for the first time since the military staged a coup. 7 have been killed in Sudan protests. Doctors are saying activists say security forces have opened fire on pro-democracy protesters. I am victorious. Victory is my name. This is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And the Kenyan Supreme Court begins hearing constitutional review bill appeal. What is there that they want to see? I'll bring you more on that front as the program goes on. When it comes to Nigeria, to amend mode of primaries in Electoral Act Bill, reps to amend mode of primaries in Electoral Act Bill. And a sit at home, suspected IPOB members invade Catholic Church in Onitsha. And then bandits have killed 16 people, including soldiers, police officers in Kebbi. Trial of Nnamdi Kanu continues today. What is going to happen there? The thing is, I don't like issues where they go to the court. They are not. The case is not continuing. They seem to be adjourning the case, adjourning the case, and I say, to what end? If you think the person has perpetrated an act, bring a charge against the person, prosecute the person, and let's see if the courts find the person guilty. Let him start serving his sentence. The government wants to pardon him. Let government pardon him, and let us just get on with our lives. Come on. At times I don't know why we do those things, you know. Yeah, Jesus. Unless somebody will say, "Oh, they are gathering more this evidence against the individual."
Victory is mine. Victory is mine. Oh, yes. Oh, now I can know. Now Jesus I can know.
Well, on that case as well, I'm going to bring you more on that because there are 15 new counts that have been brought against Nnamdi Kanu, and he said that he decided not to, he's objecting to take a plea on those fresh 15 count charges. Are they what do you call them, Iranians? They will bring you a lot of charges. Today we finish that one. Tomorrow we'll bring you new charges. When you are finishing your sentence, we'll bring you new charges. We can keep you in there. Well, it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. A lot more going to be coming your way. Well. The case has been adjourned though, but I'm bringing you more on that front. And pertaining to that, well, clashes have taken place between Nnamdi Kanu supporters and the military or security agency. I am victorious. I know they wouldn't allow us to bring those stories to you, but I'm going to make sure that whatever is making the rounds there, we will be bringing that to you. It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
I am victorious. Victory is my name.
Asante Hini, history. Otumfuo clashes with Doma Hini. Hey, Ghana, Ghana. Well, an NDC MP has revealed number of soldiers assigned to Duncan Williams and Jane Mensah and all the others. But the issue is, should the Speaker of Parliament have his military details who are attached to his security details given back to him, restored? What do you think? Well, in an advice, whether it's a good advice or not, in the MPP flag bearership race, Pratt, Kweku Pratt, what is it, Kweku Pratt? Kwesi Pratt is telling Baumia, save yourself the embarrassment, quit the race. He thinks that, Alan Cash is going to whip him arms down. What do you think about all that? We'll be looking more into it in a moment. When it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. After forcing to plead not guilty, he's pleaded not guilty and been granted a 3 million bail. As he appeared before court today. Well, the overall MP award has gone to Sam George for overall best MP. What do you reckon he did? Is it because of he was championing the cause of this LGBTQI plus bill in Parliament? What do you think?
Let me see your victory signs up like this. Come on.
Okay, so this and a lot more I'm going to be looking at in the next few moments. So just stay tuned, enjoy the music, and then I'll be with you. I am Archie, and from now till, as you know, 1 o'clock, I'm going to be with you. But remember, 12 o'clock exactly, the lines will be open for you to add your voice to the discussions. Enjoy this song from Carl Clote.
Yeah, Jesus, I can't know one more. I don't forget to me, say no. Victory is mine. And why is it demon? Yeah, Jesus, I can't no one want it more. Time for beer to me, say no. Victory is mine. Where is everybody, come on. Yeah, Jesus, I can't know. Jesus, I can't know one want it more. Time for beer to me, say no. Victory is mine. Victory is mine. Oh, Jesus, I can't know. Jesus, I can't know and one and better more. Time for God to me to say no. Victory is mine. Victory is mine. Oh, we couldn't leave. We couldn't leave more. My name. I am victorious. Victory is my name. Yeah, I can and one forevermore. I am victorious. Victory is my name. And everybody say, I am victorious. Victory is my name. I am victorious. I am victorious. Victory is my name. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. And one
worldwide, online 24/7.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Starr Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Welcome back to the program. Well, my email or my text or my WhatsApp message is being filled by lots of updates that is being sent to me. Let me say thank you very much to Mr. Frank Davis as well, who sent me one that I talked about earlier on, where the mayor of London is considering new daily charge for petrol and diesel cars in London. That is a £2 a day. So the moment you move your car from your house, you have to pay £2. You have to pay £2 before. So a week is what? If you have to use your car 7 days, as some of us do, because of the kind of work that we do, that means that you're going to be paying what? £14 a day, plus on top of your tax and everything. Now, what is all that about? Well, I'm going to be bringing you more on that front. What is happening here in the UK? My goodness, it is all Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So let's take that story first, because since I'm a story that is going to worry lots of commuters. Now, London mayor say he needs to charge drivers a small daily fee of up to £2 for all but the cleanest vehicles to help hit climate change targets. The road pricing proposal is part of a push by Sadiq Khan to encourage people towards public transport, walking, cycling, or electric vehicles. The RSC called the plan poorly timed, with cleaner vehicles being too expensive for most people. Now, longer term, Mr. Khan says he needs to bring in a pay per mile system. Now, he is also considering charging drivers from outside the capital who wish to travel into Greater London, widening out the current charging zone. Now, Mr. Khan said he was not willing to put off action. You know, guys, you know what we got to do? As I said, we got to park our cars. Get out on the street and let's leave our cars there. Yeah? Nobody has said that we don't want to. I mean, in the past they said, diesel cars were very, very good, and people stopped buying petrol cars, and everybody just went on there buying diesel cars. The next moment they said, diesel cars are not very good. You know, we need to get ourselves petrol cars. Now everybody went on buying petrol cars, and then once we've done all that and we've got all the money, they said, no, you know, that one too is not very, very good. Now we have to get electric cars because that is polluting the atmosphere. Then we are going to go there. Then they're going to come back later on and come and say, you know, the batteries, how do we get rid of them? That is also causing it. And then what? To what end? Well, I think it's about time that we all rise up, you know? Yes. Now we're talking about the fact that energy prices is going to go up in April. Now they have got a means to support themselves. They don't give a hoot about you. Now we all just say yes, environmental. Yes, I'm not against the fact that we have to make sure that we cut down pollution, but the rate at which we are doing it, as compared to what you're getting in your pocket, is not something that I think we have to sit down and just say, just take it on or just bring it on. No, it shouldn't be that way. Well, I think I'm going to start a protest, but let's see what it does, and then we can start that protest. All right. Now, a report commissioned by the City Hall found that a 27% reduction in London's car traffic was required by 2030 to meet net zero ambition. It stated that London faces severe impact of climate change with an increase in extremes such as last summer's flash floods, which closed hospitals, hit tube stations, and flooded homes and businesses, as well as deadly heat waves. Now, the mayor wants to start a conversation with Londoners about how the capital gets its transport emissions down. Now, one big new idea is a clean air charge, where if you don't have a clean vehicle, you will pay a small fee. Now, probably about the same as a bus fare to drive anywhere in London. There is no doubt it's radical and ambitious, but it will face opposition. Definitely, it's going to face opposition. The mayor seems confident he could get it through in the next couple of years, if that is what London wanted. Now, it could reduce emissions and try and nudge people into walking, cycling, and using public transport. And politically, half of households in London don't have a vehicle. Now, longer term, though, expect a pay per mile road charge system. Now, all that they're trying to do is to force people into going to buy electric cars, which are what the prices are mind-blowing. I mean, you just check, just go on your Auto Trader or just check the vehicles and check those which are electric cars, and you will see. So what are they talking about? Well, that's the mayor. Maybe next time we go to an election, we'll vote him down. I'm going to start a campaign if he just brings that on. All right, then. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, the Prime Minister, who lied to Parliament, will normally quit. A Prime Minister who lies to Parliament will normally quit. Rob is saying. But he is of the view that the Prime Minister didn't lie. He didn't lie. So what is a lie? What is a lie? You know, back in the day, whilst we were being trained of journalism and all that stuff, there is this catching that we use, that permissible lie. I remember one of the lecturers will be using a permissible lie, and that is when it comes to current affairs. And they're saying that, well, or investigative journalism, and they say there are some lies, or advertising, there are some lies that you say or you make, or that's not necessarily a lie. Some will call it a white lie, or whatever they want to call it. Okay, so if I say that, well, if you drink a bottle of water a day, your body will be refreshed. It's not everybody who drink a bottle of water a day who have his body refreshed. Some people have got their skins as hard as that of alligator, and therefore nothing will work on that. But somewhere, somehow, there's a bit of truth, and someone to say going a bit overboard, that makes it a bit of a lie. Or I remember back in the day, one of the examples that the lecturer gave us was that was Guinness. It says Guinness is good for you. That was the slogan that was being used at the time for that advert. And he said, well, we say that during on an advert, yeah, but in actual fact, it's not necessarily good for you. Somebody who doesn't like alcohol, it's not good for you. Okay, some people it's good for them, others might not be good for them. So the same thing, did the Prime Minister actually lie? Now, Dominic Raab, my apologies, there are two Dominics there. Now, this is Dominic Raab has said a Prime Minister found to have deliberately lied to Parliament will normally resign. The comments come after the Prime Minister's chief aide, Dominic Cummings, accused Boris Johnson of misleading MPs last week over a drinks party held in the Downing Street garden during lockdown. But Mr. Raab, the Deputy Prime Minister, said his leader had made clear he had not known about the event in advance. He added that he believed Mr. Johnson will remain in power for many years. in his blog, Mr. Cummings, who was still working in Downing Street at the time of the drinks party on the 20th of May 2020, said the Prime Minister had been forewarned of it and told that it would break COVID guidelines. Was that true? Now, who will back him up on that? He added that he warned Mr. Johnson about the gathering, but he had waved it aside. Now, two other former Downing Street officials said Mr. Cummings telling them that he had warned the Prime Minister not to allow the drinks to go ahead. Mr. Cummings' blog contradicts the account the Prime Minister gave to Parliament last week, in which he said he had not notified. He said he had not been notified in advance of the party attended by around 30 people, and to which around 100 people were invited. The Prime Minister also said he had been working in number 10 when the drinks happened and had joined the staff for 25 minutes to thank them for their efforts during the pandemic. Mr. Rapp said that Mr. Cummings and Mr. Johnson's accounts were irreconcilable, but the Prime Minister and number 10 had made clear he thought the drinks to be a work event. Now, asked whether any minister who lied to the House of Commons and failed to correct their remarks should resign, he replied, yes, of course, and asked later on whether a Prime Minister who had been found to have lied to Parliament should quit. He said he would normally. It is not correct if not corrected. If it's lying and deliberate, if it's not corrected immediately, it will normally, under the ministerial code and the governance around Parliament, be a resigning matter. That is the principle. We uphold the highest standards of principle in public life. That is critically important. But what do you think? Will the Prime Minister resign? Or are we going to take what Dominic Cummings is saying with a pinch of salt? Now, well, he's a disgruntled ex-employee, and therefore, whatever he's saying, out of bitterness is what is making him say whatever he says there. What do you think? I want to have your take on that. It is all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 11:37. But what do you think about all this that is going on? Yesterday I did talk about it. In the past week we've talked about it as well. But the question is, do you think the Prime Minister erred? Now, yesterday during the Career 101 issue, we were looking at the cancel culture, where people will come after you because they reckon that you didn't do that, or you have not done that, blah, blah, blah. And therefore they think that, well, everything that you've done is absolute. Forget about it and let's get rid of the person. Meanwhile, if you look at the good the person has done, it outweighs the wrong that he is said to have done at a particular time where people are bashing him. But the question that I want to find out from you is that, do you reckon that the Prime Minister's good outweighs his party gate? Well, let's look at the fellow scheme. Let's look at the fellow scheme. Let's look at the bounce back loans. Let's look at the various more supports that they were giving to businesses to still keep businesses ticking. I mean, what more can a Prime Minister do? But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 11:38. I really want to know what you really think about when it comes to this Prime Minister's issue that seems to be going on. Should the party be the end, or should the party continue? Well, ministers who knowingly mislead Parliament will be expected to offer their resignation to the Prime Minister. Mr. Rapp said he did not want to prejudge any inquiry being carried out by the senior civil servant Sue Gray into the drinks event and other gatherings on government premises under COVID restrictions, but added, I think the ministerial code should be followed at all times. asked about how safe Mr. Johnson was as a leader, Mr. Rabb replied, "I'm confident he will carry on for many years into the next election." Now, meanwhile, Health Minister Maria Caulfield, who worked as a nurse during the earlier stages of the pandemic, had complained on her website of a culture in Number 10 where even if rules were not technically broken, the spirit of the rules were. Is she also stoking the fire, or putting a bit of fuel in it? And Science Minister George Freeman has written to a constituent saying he is shocked and flabbergasted by the Downing Street gatherings and questioning why they happened and when people could not see dying loved ones because of COVID. Now, prior to Mr. Cummings' claims, 6 Conservative MPs had declared no confidence in the Prime Minister, while Labour, the Liberal Democrats and SNP are urging him to resign. Now, 54 Tory MPs must write letters calling for the Prime Minister to go in order to trigger a party leadership contest. Now, Number 10 said it was untrue to say the Prime Minister had been warned about the drinks event. Okay, so if it's untrue, what is true there? He said earlier this week he believed implicitly that this was a work event. He has apologized to the House and is committed to making a further statement once Sue Gray's investigation concludes. So we'll see what Sue Gray comes out with. But it's all coming your way from Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, bringing the time now to 11:41. Let's move on straight to some other stories making the rounds in the UK. Well, interestingly, the synagogue hostage taker was known to MI5. A British man who took 4 people hostage at the synagogue in Texas had been investigated by the MI5. Malik Faisal Akram from Blackburn in Lancashire was the subject of an investigation in late 2020, but by the time he flew to the US, he was assessed to be no longer a risk. The 4 people held hostage at the synagogue in Colleyville near Dallas were eventually freed unharmed after a 10-hour siege. Now, Akram was shot dead by the police. Now, 2 teenagers were arrested in England as part of the investigation, but their ages and genders have not been released. Now, US President Joe Biden has described the hostage taking as an act of terror. It began around 11 hours local time, that is 16 hours GMT on Saturday, when police were called to the congregation Beth Israel Synagogue. Well, this is all coming your way from Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. I'm still looking at some of the other stories making the rounds. Now, pay rises fail to keep up with the cost of living. Now, average pay rises are failing to keep up with the rise in the cost of living, the latest official statistics have shown. Now, while wages rose in the year to November, they did not rise as fast as prices over the same period. Now, this meant that average weekly earnings adjusted for price rises fell for the first time since July 2020. Now, salaries are growing reasonably strong, but some people are saying they are not feeling much better due to rising prices, the ONS has said. Now, regular pay, excluding bonuses and adjusted for inflation, fell 1% in November compared to the same month in the previous year. In November, the inflation rate rose to 5.1% and is expected to reach at least 6% in spring, according to the Bank of England. The Resolution Foundation think tank said real wages officially began to fall in November, and the current period of shrinking pay pockets is likely to get worse before it starts to ease in the second half of 2022. Now, salary, however, are still above pre-pandemic levels. Average weekly pay, excluding bonuses, rose to £550 in November compared with $510 in March 2020. Over the longer 3 months period between September and November, wages rose at an annual rate of 3.8%, the ONS said. That was slower than the 4.3% recorded in the 3 months period between August and October. It is All Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Do you feel the weight in your pocket? Do you feel the weight in your pocket? Okay. Now, some other story. Ludlow parents, 36 minutes ambulance wait as baby turns blue. How scary would that be? Parents who waited for 36 minutes for an ambulance when their baby turned blue have recalled screaming in fear that no one is coming to help. Now, Darren and Callie Charles from Ludlow, Shropshire, said 1-year-old daughter Myla had a seizure on the 14th of January. The family phoned for help but were left fearing for Myla's safety during the long wait for paramedics, Mr. Charles explained. Now, West Midlands Ambulance Services has apologized for the delay. Now, after treatment, paramedics took Myla to a hospital as a precaution, with WMA suggesting she had suffered a febrile seizure, which she is now back at the family home where her parents want answers. Now, WMAS explained a total of 27 ambulances operating in Shropshire at the time were already attending to patients when the child's call came. So the nearest one available was sent from 24 miles away in Hertfordshire. Now, WMA's aim is to reach 90% of category 1 calls, the most serious emergencies, which Myla's was classed as within 15 minutes. But it's all coming away from Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, let's talk about ministers who suffered a defeat in Lords over crime bill, and magistrates to get power to jail people for a year. So let's take the magistrates one. Now, magistrates in England and Wales will have greater sentencing powers to enable them to take on more cases and plans to clear court backlogs. Now, the government plans to let magistrates sentence cases where the maximum sentence is a year, rather than the current maximum of 6 months. It will allow magistrates to hear cases often held in Crown Court, but criminal lawyers warn the plan may backfire and defendants will still have the right to go before a jury. Now, Justice Secretary Dominic Raab said he hoped the move will reduce the pressure on Crown Courts and lead to quicker justice for victims. The move will allow magistrates who also volunteer with no legal experience to sentence whose more serious cases, such as for fraud, theft, and assault. At present, crimes warranting a jail term of more than 6 months have to be sentenced to Crown Court for sentencing, or sent to a Crown Court for sentencing. The Ministry of Justice thinks that by doubling magistrate sentencing powers to a year, it could stop about 500 cases going to Crown Court, giving judges 2,000 extra days to handle more serious crimes. The court system is facing unprecedented delays, and as of June last year, there was a record high of more than 60,000 Crown Court trials waiting to be heard. Now, many serious cases are being pushed back until 2023, with alleged victims saying they are struggling to cope as they wait for their cases to be heard. Well, this is all coming away from Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The final story from the UK front before we move on to other parts of the world. The government has suffered a series of defeats in the House of Lords over its plans to clamp down on disruptive and noisy protesters. And opposition peers voted against a range of measures in the police crime, sentencing and courts bill, with Labour calling some of the plans outrageous. Now, peers also voted to make misogyny a hate crime in England and Wales in another government defeat. Now, the bill will now go back to the Commons for MPs to have their say. Now, it now faces going back and forth between the Commons and Lords. Now, the government is likely to continue fighting for its proposal. The bill is a huge piece of legislation that covers major proposed changes on crimes and justice in England and Wales. The most controversial part of it is on the planned changes to protests, now which the government proposed in response to environmental activists who have blocked roads, glued themselves to trains, and stopped printing presses in recent years. The government was hoping to get the Lords to support its proposal, but in a series of votes lasting until the early hours of Tuesday morning, the Lords repeatedly voted against the government. Now, ministers were defeated by 261 votes to 166, so almost 100. Okay, 95. Over plans to give the police new powers to stop protests in England and Wales if they were deemed to be too noisy and disruptive. Now, the Lords also backed by 238 votes to 171 in the Liberal Democrat amendment to strip out the power to impose conditions on protests on noise grounds. Now, as if measures against noisy protests will be reintroduced in the Commons, the Justice Secretary said we'll look very carefully at all of that. But yes, absolutely. In the court, he continued to say, in relation to noise, of course, we support the right of peaceful and rambunctious protests, but it cannot be allowed to interfere with the lives of the law-abiding majority. The PS also voted against measures which would make it illegal for protesters who lock themselves to things and to give police officers powers to stop and search people in an attempt to prevent them taking part in illegal protests. So when they are seeing you, when they are coming to protest, you have to make sure that you are suited nicely. Have your briefcase, and you can have an apple in your briefcase. Well, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And the final story that's got an international dimension to it pertains to Russia-Ukraine crisis. UK is sending weapons to defend Ukraine, says Defense Secretary. Now, Britain is supplying Ukraine with short-range anti-tank missile for self-defense after Russia amassed about 100,000 troops on its border, the Defense Secretary has said. Now, Ben Wallace told a small team of British troops will also be sent to Ukraine to provide training. He said there was legitimate and real cause of concern the Russian troops could be used for an invasion. Now, Russia denies any invasion plans and accuses the West of aggression. Now, dozens of British troops have been in Ukraine since 2015 to help train their armed forces, and the UK has also made a commitment to help rebuild Ukraine's navy following Russia's invasion of Crimea in 2014. But Mr. Wallace said the UK will be providing extra help with security in the light of Russia's increasingly threatening behavior. I remember back in the day, I think a couple of years ago or thereabout, when there was this banter between when they were saying that there've been some what do you call it that they use some attacks in the UK, the Shropshire incident that happened, and a few people who have been poisoned by polonium and stuff like that. It happened that Russia, when the leader was being interviewed, they said that, oh, the UK, they are just a small, look at the number of people in the UK, they are just a small country, and so, you know, from time to time you have the Russian jets, I mean, straight into the UK airspace, and at times you have ships coming from the North Seas coming that way, and you ask yourself, how safe are we now sending troops to Ukraine to go and help them there? But well, it's because of the NATO, and therefore they have to do that as well. But you know, it's business, as Frank will say. War is business. War is business. So well, they are making hay while the sun shines. What about you? It is All Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We'll bring you more stories in a moment. We're going to Tonga. We're going to the 5G and airplanes. The impact there. We'll be looking into all that. Beijing Olympics app contains data risk analysts are saying. A mandatory COVID monitoring app is to be used by all games attendees as security risk analysts are warning. China, I think they caused the West to quake in their boots. And what about that? Let's take the song No Woman No Cry from the Kedas reggae cover. Enjoy this.
this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Welcome back to the program, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Those of you who are not seeing me, yes, you saw the Starr Radio UK banner. So wherever you see that, you know that yes, Starr Radio UK is there. So that is for you. All right then. So now let's move on to some of the stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. But let me announce the lines open. You can call in and share your take with us on any of the issues that have been discussed today. Namely, from the Prime Minister to the mayor's plan to introduce £2 per day for you using your car, so far as it's not an electric car. Meanwhile, the electric cars are so expensive that can ruin your home. and all sorts that is going on at the moment. But I want you to add your voice to the discussions. Let us know what you think of this morning. But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So call me on 0208-133-2257 or 58, 0208-133-2257 or 58. Those of you in US, Canada, Caribbean area and all the others, just call us on 001-718-303-2737, 001-718-303-2737. You can also text or WhatsApp us. It is 075-3966-1744, 075-3966-1744. Our Twitter handle is at Starr Radio UK and email address is info@starradiouk.com. So get in touch. Heskmiafu and Midhit, thank you very much to all of you for joining in as well. All right then. So let's move on to some of the other stories making the rounds this day. Share, as I've said, and like our pages there as well. Okay, so now let's move on. Okay, but remember, this afternoon exactly at 1:30 we're bringing you BB Clement on BB Means Business. business trends for the year 2022. So make sure you listen to that program. Okay, so now let's move on. Now, the Tonga issue seems to be going on. Tonga says tsunami was unprecedented disaster. Now, I have pictures in front of me, satellite pictures in front of me that you could see before and the after. And you see how the green belt and everything is, and now after that, wow, everything has been wiped off, and it's all virtually everything is gone. It's quite a difficult thing. But I was asking, as I said yesterday, now when that thing happened, I was watching a program. I think I watched a program, was it sometime last week, and then an artificial island that has been created, and it caused the owners, they created it, I think 2020 to 2021 thereabout, and you have all these like proper plush or luxury cruise ships that go to those places. Okay, now, so you look at that, you look at those islands that have been created, and then the next moment, seeing the disaster that was occurring there, the owner said it cost them about 200 million pounds to do so. And then you look, it's nice. You see the sea, blue sea, and the white sand, and the way they crafted it, very, very nice, very, very beautiful place that I would want to visit. But when you look at tsunami and such disasters happening, you ask yourself, do you really want to live or visit a place like that when you're not very sure what was going to happen next? Well, the Tonga is saying it has been hit by an unprecedented disaster in the government's first update since a volcanic eruption triggered a tsunami. In a statement, the government confirmed 3 deaths, 2 locals and a British national. It said some of the smaller outlying islands were particularly badly affected. Now, with all the houses destroyed and just 2 left on another, 8 efforts have been hampered by ash falling from the volcano. Now, volunteers have been sweeping the runway of the main airport to allow planes bringing much needed drinking water and supplies to the land. Now, communications with the island chain have been disrupted after the single underwater cable connecting Tonga to the rest of the world was severed in the eruption. In its update, the Tongan government said the internet was down, but some local phone services were available and work was on the way to restore full communication. The statement also said a 65-year-old woman and a 49-year-old man and a British woman, Angela Glover, were killed in the tsunami. Dozens of houses on the main island of Tungatapu were also damaged. Evacuations from the worst hit island are underway, and water supplies have been seriously affected by the volcanic ash. Now, flights have been temporarily halted and sea transport routes are disrupted as well. So that's what is happening in Tonga. But looking at that, I ask myself the question, will I love to maybe go visit some nice island, blue seas with white sand beaches? Would I want to do that? Somebody will call me a coward, but well, what do you think? It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Moving on straight to other parts of the world to bring you more stories on those fronts. Well, it is happening live, whether we like it or not. The Beijing Olympics is going to take place. But the Beijing Olympics is vulnerable to data breaches, analysts are saying. That is my 2022. That is the Beijing Olympics app. The Beijing Winter Olympics app that all game attendees must use contains security weaknesses that leave users exposed to data breaches, analysts are warning. The My 2022 app will be used by athletes, audience members, and media for daily COVID monitoring. The app will also offer voice chats, file transfers, and Olympic news. But cybersecurity group Citizen Lab says the app fails to provide encryption on many of its files. The release of its reports coincides with a rise in warnings about visitors' tech security ahead of the games, and which begins on the 4th of February. Now, people attending the Beijing Olympics should bring burner phones and create email accounts for their time in China, various experts have advised. Now, several countries have also reportedly told athletes to leave their main devices at home before arriving in China. The authors of the Citizen Lab report said they had also found a censorship keywords list built in the app and a reporting feature that can be used to flag other politically sensitive expressions. The analyst noted that these features and security flaws weren't atypical for apps operating in China, but they pose a risk nonetheless to users. Analysts said the illegal words file appeared currently to be inactive, but was unclear. A list of 2,442 keywords showed them to be mainly politics related or referenced swear words and illegal goods. Most were in simplified Chinese, but some were also in Tibetan, Uyghur, and English. The list includes the names of Chinese leaders and the government agencies, as well as references to the 1989 killing of pro-democracy protests in Tiananmen Square and the religious group Falun Gong, which is banned in China. Both the lists and the reporting button are features typical of many popular apps used or developed in China, the analyst said, but it could lead to non-transparent content removal and malicious reporting of others. It goes on further to say all visitors to the games are required to download the app 14 days prior to their departure for China and use it to record daily their COVID status. For foreign visitors, they also need to upload sensitive information already submitted to the Chinese government, like passport details and travel and medical history. So what are you going to do if you are an Olympian ready to attend this Winter Olympics? What are you going to do? Will you now back off? Back out, or you dare the consequences and just get on with it? What do you think? I want to know your thoughts on it. It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 12:13 the time. I'm moving on straight to some other stories making the rounds this morning, or let me call it this afternoon, across the globe. Now, U.S. airlines are warning of impending 5G flight disruption. I remember, was it sometime last week? Was it last week? I did, or a couple of weeks ago, beginning of the year, I did touch on that story that talked about the 5G, and I was saying that then in that case, then they could fix something on the plane so that when you embark or you board, you're on board a plane, it destabilizes or disables. Let me put it that way. Disables that 5G, the network. Okay, or unless of course they've not got anything yet. But the 10 biggest U.S. airlines have warned that the impending switch on a 5G mobile phone service will cause major disruption to flights. But here in the UK, we have 5G already. They said the start of the Verizon and the AT&T 5G mobile phone services planned for Wednesday will cause a completely avoidable economic calamity. Airline fear C-band 5G signals will disrupt plans navigating systems, particularly those used in bad weather. The warning was issued in a letter sent to the U.S. aviation authorities. The chief executive of American Airlines, Delta Airlines, and United Airlines were joined by others in saying immediate intervention is needed to avoid significant operational disruption to air passengers, shippers, supply chain, and delivery of needed medical supplies, including vaccine disruption. But information coming through said, outlining the urgent concerns, it was sent to Transportation Secretary Peter Buttigieg, as well as the head of the Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, the chair of the Federal Communications Commission, and the director of the National Economic Council. For more information, it says negotiations are continuing at the highest level of the U.S. government about what has been described as a very fluid situation. Well, do you want to embark on a flight or a journey knowing that it's going to be rolled out tomorrow? Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. But what do you think? It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time down to 16 minutes past 12. So now let's go to Niger and see what is happening there as well when it comes to the news that is making the rounds across the globe. Well, supporters, information that came through this morning, supporters of Nnamdi, Nnamdi Kanu in large numbers clashed with members of security operatives at the Federal High Court in Abuja today. This was a correspondent observed that supporters kept on chanting, "Holy, holy, holy, Nnamdi Kanu is another savior." Oh man. Reporters said the leader of the proscribed group, the indigenous people of Biafra, is currently being arraigned at the Federal High Court over some amended charges leveled against him by the federal government. This is the lead counsel for the as the lead counsel of the IPOB leader Ifeanyi Ejiofor on Tuesday unveiled Mike Ozekome as the leader of the defense counsel for Kanu, whose trial resumed today before Justice Binta Nyako of the Federal High Court in Abuja. Now, some journalists who arrived at the court to cover the proceedings were also barred from accessing the court premises. Why do they always like doing that? Okay, now let's look at the fresh charges that have been leveled against him. So, an Abuja-based human rights lawyer, Pelumi Olajengbesi, says the federal government is not acting in the good interest of Nigeria by filing fresh terrorism charges against the embattled leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. It goes on further to say the federal government filed fresh terrorism charges against Kanu on the eve of his trial before Justice Binta Nyako at the Federal High Court in Abuja. In the amended process it filed before the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja, the government increased the counts in the initial charges it preferred against Kanu from 7 to 15 more charges. Reacting, Olajengbesi in a statement said, as far as legacies go, the greatest tragedy of the Major General Muhammadu Buhari's regime will be its failure to equalize access for all Nigerians across the tribe or religion, leading on to one of the most widespread cries for secession, which began in the east and spread to the west and middle belt regions of the country. So coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. I was trying to see whether I can get a count, the charges, but 8 other new terrorism charges leveled against him. Meanwhile, we have some terrorists rampaging and abducting people, killing them, robbing them, and everything that is going on. Well, they would think that they got a big fish. So The trial of the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Kano, at the Federal High Court, Abuja, was continuing today. However, information coming through said that the case has been adjourned once again. The case has been adjourned once again. Well, after the 5 counts was brought against, the 5 counts were brought or was brought against him. Just bear with me. We had some sounds coming from the in the background as well. Well. So Starr Radio UK. As I did say earlier on, the house. Okay, I think I've got Kojo who is joining in. Let me welcome him while I try to get that story for you. Kojo, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Arch. Yeah, how are you?
I'm doing very, very well. And you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Great,
Yeah,
great.
I hope all our listeners are, doing great.
Yes, they are all doing great. Apart from the fact that the mayor of London is saying that it's going to be surcharging us £2 a day for if you drive your car out.
I think you rightly said it. It's time we vote him out.
Yeah. We just have to vote him out. If not, he's going. I think. Oh goodness me!
He's thinking of doing a third term. I mean, how long can he be going? At the same time, he's thinking of scraping the Boris buses.
Yeah.
Because he thinks they need to. It's time that they need to do some major whatever they call it. Changes to the vehicle, and time they need to revamp the vehicle. So they need to probably take some of the electric components out and put new electric components in. And he's talking about it to cost about 30 million to do that revamp of the buses. And I mean, it costs several millions already to build one.
Yeah.
So if it's going to cost 30 million to
revamp all that we have.
Yeah, why don't you do it and stop going after drivers who are just driving to make a living? I mean, some of the people on the road are not joyriding. I mean, nobody goes on the road to joyride. The people who go to joyride in the night. I mean, majority of the people on that road are actually working and keeping the London economy going.
Yeah.
I mean, in the pandemic, which people do we see on the roads? It's not small car drivers.
No.
It's all vans.
Yeah.
So is it going to stop all the deliveries?
Because they have to go and get electric vans, which are, I mean, electric vehicles that are so expensive.
I have a friend who bought one of these electric vans. It's a small. I mean, he used it for 2 years, and he was telling me the depreciation is so terrible because using it as a van.
Yeah.
You are continuously charging because the batteries in those electric vans are not same as the batteries you find in vehicles such as Tesla and some of the is it a Polestar? Audis and the VWs which can do several miles, but because you're using them as private vehicles, you tend to conserve more of the battery.
But when you use it
commercially, you're running down continuously because you're doing drip, drop. And at the point he decided after using it for 2 years, he will sell it. And he decided to sell it. He sold it last year and bought a used Tesla, which he said the value was much better, and he was using the Tesla to do the same work he was using the van for.
Wow.
Yeah, so what is the point? So, I mean, if all of us get into electric vehicles, what charges is he going to think about? Now that he's talking also about charge per what?
Mile.
Mile?
Yeah.
I mean, even if we get electric,
we need to get him out. We need to get him out. We need to get him out.
Wow.
We got him there. We need to get him out of there. I tell you honestly.
I think. How many people are even going to? The London's economy is just about waking up after the pandemic, and they want to. Who dreamt of this? And gave him this idea.
No, he wants to be environmentally friendly mayor. So everybody says he's the one who. Well,
he's talking about meeting air pollution targets.
Yeah.
Look, if we meet the air pollution targets in London, and the rest of the globe is being polluted by China, and India, and Iran,
we've not done nothing.
Nothing. And America, the chief polluter.
We've not done nothing. I'm looking at even this energy prices that is going to go up in what do you call it in April. How people are even struggling from the, so you look at that and you ask yourself, are they actually think? I think it's time that people do drastic things. Make sure that they know that it's enough. We can do it gradually, but the way they want to go, I think that is not on.
He per se, he doesn't even use electric vehicle as much as I know. He uses a bulletproof vehicle for security reasons. All the leaders, including the prime minister, they all use bulletproof 4x4 vehicles for security reasons.
Yeah.
So they get driven around the city and not paying anything for it.
But when we drive, they want us to pay.
Exactly. Would you want us to pay driving in the city? We're already paying loads on petrol, or on fuel. We're paying on
ULEZ. Those who have that, they're paying ULEZ. They are paying congestion
zone. We're paying congestion, which they used to be after 10 p.m. Now it is 24/7.
Yeah.
And you want to slam another £2 on people driving, and people coming into the city also will pay extra. So if I drive from London to Manchester also decides to put extra on me, and I'm driving through Birmingham.
You have to pay. You have to pay for every city that you have to pay.
Exactly.
But one thing that bothers me is now during the lockdown, and then I was using some of the back roads in croydon, and then I found out that I used those roads, and I found out they said that now you cannot drive through those areas. Then I was asking myself, from those where those the main road is to those particular areas, it's quite a distance. So assuming you've gone shopping, and you have stuff in your hand, how do you take it home?
I don't know. It's not everything you can carry on a bus. Look, I make a conscious effort. If I'm going into Croydon and I'm not going to buy a great deal of things, right? Just some couple of things I can put in a backpack or a small bag or a shoulder bag or something. I go on a bus because it makes sense going on a bus. And you can spend a bit of time and buy whatever you want to buy
without thinking of whether a parking charge.
Parking, where am I going to park? If I park, am I going to get a ticket? If I and it's cheaper going in 2 bus rides than parking for 4 hours. So I make those conscious efforts to do that. But if it's going to be a whole load of shopping, I can't do that in the Croydon town center. So I will go off to where Pellyway areas, where now almost every shop you want in the town center is concentrated over there. So if you want to go to any of the supermarkets, any of the 5 supermarkets in the UK, are all in Pellyway with free parking. Including clothes shops,
everything.
Designer shops over there.
Everything that is there.
So virtually, we were having a discussion the other day. with some people, and they were saying that, look, the town center is going to be a ghost town. The rate at which it is going, the only shop you can go there and say they have multiple shops, it's Central, and now Central 2 is going dry. It's only been now occupied by one giant house of Fraser, occupying all the floors. The small other shops have disappeared. Look, the last time I went to do my booster, I went in a bus because I didn't know how long I was going to queue in the town center to do a booster. So if they're going to continue that way, the city of London, we in Croydon might not immediately be affected.
But it's a matter of time.
Gradually it's creeping to us. Once it's got to Lewisham, which is our closest neighbor, how many miles from Croydon to Lewisham? It's probably just about 3 miles. It's gone to the South Circular. Part of the South Circular runs right through Croydon. Right, I mean in front of Croydon. So if you're talking about Crystal Palace and those places, gradually it will get to Crystal Palace. And once it gets there, we finish. Oh, no. I think he should reassess his suggestion. I don't think he should have made his suggestion at all.
I don't know. I mean, maybe he's got some environmentalists, activists around him who are advising him. Maybe that's why he's behaving that way.
Well, I say money is also another motivating factor. He wants to raise as much money for TFL. And he's probably blinded by a lot of those decisions. I mean, everybody likes clean air. But I mean, people have moved to the countryside because they want clean air. I mean, everybody likes it, but at what rate? I mean, if we all get electric vehicles today, we're going to be told that it is not only the exhaust emissions, it is now going to be our tires.
And then disposing of the batteries after some time. So they should just leave us alone, you know. They should just. Well, listeners in Starr Radio UK, Kojo D on the line. I'm Archie, and we're looking at some of the stories making the round. Now, Kojo, quickly, the Prime Minister, did he lie? We've been talking about this, but Dominic Cummings have come to say that, well, you know, if the Prime Minister said that he didn't know that it was a party, well, it walks like a party, it quakes like a party, it looks like a party, so it should be a party. Now, what I mean, we thought that this would, by this time, it would have died down, but it seems to be going on and on and on. So if it's found out that he lied, that he didn't know, because Dominic Cummings is saying that, look, I had evidence and I advised him not to let it go on. So if he says that, oh, he thought it was just a work, something where people have just come out and then he was there for 25 minutes and went in, so he didn't know that it was a party. What do you think should happen to him?
I mean, from what we are hearing, I mean, to give a bit of a background, there had been email exchanges between senior members of the civil service within number 10. So one person has emailed and said no and advised that this shouldn't be done because it doesn't look good. It will be rule breaking. And another one went and said, oh, well, ignored the advice of so all that is going to come out because the sources that gave the information to ITV were quite very reliable sources, and that was how it first started. I mean, all this. And initially they denied, then we saw the Prime Minister's previous press secretary, who what's her name again? Oh, she's gone and now.
I've forgotten her name.
Well, I remember in the course of the discussion. So we saw the
Felix, get us that name. I know.
We saw the video of her. I think once she's gone off the picture, everybody has forgotten about her for now. Well, so we saw the video of her emerge, and they were rehearsing what to tell the public if they are caught.
Yeah.
which is so dreadful.
Yeah.
I mean, when we used to, the young men we used to work in the press, although we rehearse some of the things, it's a normal thing we do. We rehearse what we need to say so that we don't make a mistake. And there will be like a mock press conference where some colleagues will ask questions and we try to address the questions. But at the same time, it is not a press conference where you are coming to stick out to try to
lie,
people,
to
lie to people. When people say, "Oh, you broke the rule," and you say, "No, we didn't break the rule. It was a work gathering." So all those came out, and it kept continuing. It kept continuing until the emails were leaked. And prior to that very party going to take place, or bring and chop. And came out. I mean, you know what happened? There had consistently been a denial until those emails were leaked out. Then they had to now go and apologize. So it has been found as not saying has lied to Parliament. I think under the ministerial code, if you've lied to Parliament, then it's a serious.
Allegra Stratton.
Yeah. Oh, great, you remember. So that the ministerial code makes it the standards are you shouldn't lie. As simple as that.
But some people are looking at the merit. I mean, his good deeds. Look at the fellow scheme. Look at the bounce back loan. Look at the support that they gave to various firms to keep things taken along. And you look at the UK economy that as compared to other big economies that were suffered, and you see that UK is doing much better than most of them. So somebody would say that it's good.
No, some people are saying that look. If the fellow scheme and all things, they are placing Richie Sunak, the Chancellor, the one who had been looked after people. They are not saying he's a prime minister. Basically, that's what it is. That is why I said no. People think he's a Chancellor.
So
he is looking more favorable for people at the moment. Not the prime minister. All that they are seeing is a prime minister in bad light. So as to how he's going to, and if you look at the opinion polls, they have dropped, and Labour has overtaken them to some large extent, and he's on the prime minister's own personal ratings to have really dropped. And if you're talking about the May 2020 May 20th of May 2020 it was the Prime Minister's private secretary Martin Reynolds who sent out the email. So if your private secretary is sending out the emails to invite people to bring and drink, why haven't you seen it?
Maybe he's Simpapenin. He's there and they are doing things around here. He doesn't know.
It's another very senior official reply that you're breaking the rules. Wouldn't he have that senior official even talk to the Prime Minister? That look, definitely somebody would have said, look, this thing that is going to be done, somebody said you're breaking the rules, and you still wanted to proceed with it and do it. I mean, somebody, a senior official will step up to the Prime Minister and say, look, this is what your private secretary wants to do, but I think it's going to be a potential rule-breaking event.
Well, listeners, if you are listening to us, what should be the fate of the Prime Minister? Is the party over, or should the party continue with its good deeds? As it's been said by the literature king himself, it says that the good deeds of a man is written on water and his evil on brass. What do you think has happened to him? We want to hear your take on that. But it's Starr Radio UK, Kojo D in South London. I'm Archie here in the studios of Starr Radio UK. Now we've got about 20 minutes to go, but as I announced earlier on this afternoon, exactly at 1:30, BB Clement will be coming your way with BB Means Business. But let's go to Ghana straight. Let's hop on straight to Ghana because this security details of the Speaker of Parliament. Now, first of all, as over the weekend, I mean, it's been going on emails and the fact that the security chiefs are saying that, well, we made a mistake. We made a mistake in assigning military for in the security details of the Speaker of Parliament. However, we have the president who have got the military in his security details. We have that in the vice president's security detail. We have it in the CJ security detail. We have in the Attorney General's security detail, the EC security detail, and then the Speaker. So how come they've withdrawn that of the Speaker? If they made a mistake, couldn't they have amended it and then brought them or rectified it and get the right people to be there, or whoever, if permissions have to be granted these individuals to do that? But 12 months, and he comes and say, oh, you know what, we made a mistake. What do you think? Is it a ploy to gag him?
No, I don't know why they even had military security detail for some of the leaders of the nation. I mean, normally such security detail comes from the police and the secret service.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether those military people were from the secret service, which, well, they won't tell us. But I don't see why the military should even be included in the security detail, except they've been trained specifically for that reason. But, well, that said, let's set that aside, because it should be the police who should be providing the security and the security services, not the military, except that military wing has been embedded into the security services. Then that I will allow. But the withdrawal, I'm not sure why that was even leaked out in any way to the public. It baffles me why, because it creates a situation where somebody is within one party will be saying that, look, because the Speaker of Parliament is from the opposition, mainly from the opposition NDC group, that is why they have decided to do this, withdraw the military. But I think from onset, I don't know how that is structured, because I don't know how the Constitution allowed that to happen. But it doesn't look really, really nice, because with the president himself, there are security people or military people who have been embedded into the whole security detail. But I don't know why the police force cannot do that role. Why the security services cannot do that role, and they rely on the military to also be embedded.
Do you think that maybe with this new IGP, some confidence can be built, or a good persona for the police service, and therefore if somebody needs security detail and then we said, okay, it's the police who are coming in to do that, it will give the people the confidence that they need? So maybe that is because that is not there, because the reputation of the police, that's why people think that we have to go to the military to get that.
What is a training? But let me put it this way: the training for the military is different from training for police force. Yeah. I mean, military are trained to go to war. I think we all know that. Shoot and kill enemies. And the police are trained to maintain internal security. The military is external security, to fight against external aggression.
That's right.
And the military is the police is supposed to maintain internal security. So in most democracies and other places, it is actually the police who maintains our internal security. So if our leaders are not confident of the police force itself, then the police force is in a bad shape. Yeah. So if the police force cannot protect our own leaders, then could they protect the ordinary citizen on the street?
No way.
And the police force also has specialized units that are trained specifically for this kind of thing. So if the police force cannot do that job, and they feel that their training is inadequate, then they should take them elsewhere to be trained appropriately for that.
But
you're talking about the new IGP.
Don't pray.
Well, at the moment, we think so far he's not put any foot wrong. So people have confidence in him. So if he could be entrusted to do the right thing and clean up the rotten apples in the police force, then maybe there could be a trust issue. But it's still not the best, in my opinion, really. It was for that same reason when the parliament was rowding against itself in the election of a speaker, somebody brought in the military. That says a lot about how we perceive the military. We think the military should be in control of internal security issues. I don't know whether what I said made sense, but I think that is a perception.
I think that's the perception. That's the perception.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a fair perception. The police force should be allowed to do its job.
But looking at security detail for Jane Mensah, she has got 10 soldiers. Okay, now the EC, the deputies, have got 5 soldiers each. Now Kisei Jaben, the special prosecutor, have got 11 soldiers, and the 18 Supreme Court justices have got 4 soldiers each deployed to their residence. So if the Speaker of Parliament has got 4 plus whatever police that are with it, what is wrong? Why are they taking his out? Do you think that maybe it's a ploy to gag him? That's what I've been asking. Are they trying to gag him because of the the umpires that have gone on because they are 37 and he can decide to vacate his seat and then somebody has to take over, and therefore that automatically put them in a place where they fall short of getting a majority to pass their bills through. So what do you think is going on?
I don't think it's a ploy to gag him necessarily, but what would the protection of the soldiers do differently from the police? My simple case is, what difference would the military officers do different from the police officers if the police have been given the appropriate training? I mean, is it because we don't have any work for the military, so now we have to use them? If that is the case, then fine. If there is no work for military because there is no war, there's no coup.
We pray for peace, and therefore there is peace. And let's use them to do some other stuff.
Exactly. We use them to guard MPs. Then that's fine. I will accept that in good faith. That look, if we want to engage them and give them the appropriate training that will ensure that they become like security personnel, then that's fine, because already UK soldiers who, I'm using this as an example, UK soldiers who fought in let's say in Iran, Iraq, some of them went back to countries such as Iraq to provide professional security to people. If the military has been trained to provide the professional security that is needed for these political and important people within the society, then that's fine. If they have the adequate security. I now even understand that some pastors are also paying for military escorts.
They said Dr. Williams have got a few of them, and they started naming those who have got it.
So if because the soldiers haven't got a great deal of work to do at the moment, they normally use for peacekeeping and all that. Some of the peacekeeping areas have become slightly more dangerous. Yeah, so well, they can do it fine. But let's come back to the Speaker of Parliament. I mean, we don't know why that was withdrawn, but the military has to come in and explain. I think that is it. We cannot really speculate why they've been withdrawn, whether it was to gag him, whether he was because he was an NDC man or whatever, and they've given it to EC and all other probably government appointees, probably including civil servants of that kind of thing. We should allow the military to explain the rationale behind withdrawing such personnel. Yeah, we don't want to really chance it that it's because they don't really like him, that's why they are doing that, or because he's become a problem for them, or because they want to gag him, because they want to show him that look, if you don't toe the line, there are other things we can do to you. No, we should allow the military to explain it.
But how come that if they are saying that look, the military are not the what do you call him the government has dismissed suggesting that the decision to withdraw the military attachment in the to the Speaker of Parliament by the Ghana Armed Forces it's an attempt to stifle his protection. I was trying to get the name of this. Is it the security boss? I've forgotten his name. National Security Minister Kandapa. That's him. Why didn't they take? So let's say the CJ. Let's take the military from his from the Attorney General. Let's say the military from their security details. If they do all those things, then somebody will say that you are not only zeroing in on a particular person and doing that to the person, but the way they are going is the only person who they are targeting. So people will now think that, well, whether even it's not, there is nothing in there, people will think that no, you have a ploy to do something against him.
I think we can speculate or know that, but the best people to answer the person is the National Security Minister. I mean, can Dapashi be able to clear the air? I mean, I think it's a bit too let me use this word loosely. I'll rephrase it. It is not right for him to have waited too long.
A whole year.
Too long. And not actually even said anything. Whilst all these
once this
going on. I expect him to have made a speech by now and explain the rationale behind withdrawal of the current 4 military security personnel. It could also be an issue of they rotate them. I don't know, but I'm just trying to make not let it sound like we are bashing the MPP government.
So try not to do so.
What I'm trying to say, it could be a situation where they rotate the security detail. So they might have removed the 4 and bring in another. But even if so, if that is a situation, there shouldn't even be a gap between when the 4 left and the new 4 come in. It should be seamless and simultaneous. If you get what I'm trying to say. So while these ones are moving, these ones are coming back in. So we can't say much now. It could be a punishment for his behavior. But God protect us.
That's it.
I mean, I would just say that if all those people think the country is not safe, right? I don't want to say much. Safe from armed robbery and all that. Like somebody said the other time, then they should go without their security detail and see whether they can sleep peaceful at night. But for the ordinary citizen who is being attacked by armed robbery every day, they don't have anybody to protect them. Not even on the streets. There aren't enough soldiers on the street. There aren't enough policemen on the street. And people are being attacked on daily basis. you assign so many security details to one individual, 4 soldiers, 4 police officers, 8 people for one individual and his family. Well, then our leaders should look in the mirror.
Well, if you want to know what is going on, look in the mirror. Look at who you are seeing. That will give you the answer to it. Well, let's start Radio UK. We're going to be running up pretty soon. Bakojo, what have been your top story for today?
The one I like most is, the one we picked to start with. We talk about the London,
the mayor,
the mayor. Yeah, and I think if to put it mildly, if he introduces that, I think people should be making their decision whether they want to keep him there. But I think for some people who are involved in the whole planet thing, and people involved in all those demonstrations about clean air, they will probably go a long way to support him. But does that stop everything? It won't.
It won't.
Yeah, and I think the other one I will add on to it, which I think is going to be slightly unfair to people, because gradually everybody is being pushed to get a vaccine. So that will be Morrison cutting the sick pay for unvaccinated people, which once Morrison does it, other companies soon are just going to follow it. And I think it's a bit wrong to do that at the moment.
Because people who have been vaccinated are getting infected.
Exactly.
So why do you pick on those who have not been vaccinated? Because it's an infection. People cannot come in. They cannot come in. So, wow.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. I was actually going to say that if you get the vaccine, you're still getting the virus. One of our neighbors, throughout the whole holiday, I wasn't seeing them out. And I work it out that maybe they might have got a vaccine. Oh, they might have got a virus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't want to go checking with them. So I waited, and later on my other half went to talk to them. Saw them outside and said, "Oh, we didn't see you out for nearly 2 weeks. Even throughout the whole holiday, Christmas, your house was so quiet. You were indoors throughout." They said, "You know what? We got the virus." and she was like, "We have both had double jobs."
To what end?
Yeah. So what are we saying? People should not. It's a stealth way of pushing people to get, a vaccine, and I don't think people should be penalized for getting the virus, because anybody can catch it, whether you have vaccine or not. You still catch it. Yeah. I mean, are we going to see going into further down this year what happened with Djokovic? We've heard today that the French too are saying that they are not going to allow unvaccinated players to come and play in the French Open.
So directly, Djokovic is out.
Out. And so he gets the vaccine. And are we going to see more of that happening, where people cannot even travel any longer? Because virtually, when you have a vaccine, you can go to some countries without having to go through some extra declarations and tests. Once you have your vaccine status and you've been boosted, there are countries like America you can go.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a vaccine, then you are subject to extra checks.
Yeah. Well,
how fair is that?
Well, somebody said the world is not a fair place, is it? Okay, Kojo, your final words before we go.
My final words would be, well, we just gone 18 days in January. We just done mid-year, but let's keep our hopes that it's going to be a better year for everyone, irrespective of whatever we see around us, the troubles that are brewing even in our nation here. We hope it will be a better year than the year before. Despite the fact that inflation is peaking, energy prices are nearly going up 50%.
Yes.
Living standards are becoming extremely high. And the pay rise is not catching up with the cost of living. But still hope for a better year. And something better will come out of this year for all of us.
Definitely. Kojo, let me say thank you very much for this wonderful contribution to the program.
So we'll catch up tomorrow.
Yes. All right. Have a lovely day.
Same to you.
Okay. Listeners, that was Kojo D all the way in South London who joined us this afternoon on the morning show. And I wanted to take on all the issues that we discussed. Well, it's quite an interesting one. What do you think about the mayor's plans? He wants to go for a third term. So get yourself ready there. All right then. So this one we're bringing the program to a close for today. This afternoon, exactly in the next 28 minutes, I should be having BB Clement joining us on BB Means Business. So make a date with her whilst we bring you this program this evening. There's going to be lots of music and some other presentations that's going to be taking place as well. But on that note, I say have a wonderful afternoon, and remember, don't do anything that we will not do. But let me bring you the song from a cover version from Kerdas, and they say no woman no cry. So make you no cry, Abby. It's me, Archie, Mr. Kojo D, Felix, and all those who were behind the scenes working for us, making sure the program comes your way. We say thank you very much and God bless. See you all tomorrow. Bye bye for now.
Thanks for listening.
Said I remember when we used to sit gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright.